Hey, how's it going, guys and gals? This is Hoy Fishing. I am Seiki. I am getting ready to paint up some lure. I've already started earlier, but I had the things I needed to do, so now I'm back, and here we go. Um, Something I've done a lot of. So I got 3 rainbow trouts that I need to paint up, and well, let's get to it. All right, so I got quite a bit done already. I wasn't gonna didn't even think about doing a video on this, but I said, what the heck? Let's go ahead and do this. Let me get these here put away, especially that one because that's a finished deal. But let's here we go. These are the 3. So let's kind of go over exactly what I did real quick. What I did was I ended up getting that foil on. I ended up painting the bottom white, painting the top black. Black, white on the top, white on the bottom on all 3 of these here. So some of the lures I'll paint black depending on what I'm painting. But yeah, because of the metallic silver actually is much brighter with the black underneath. So, but at the same time, when you're painting black, if you want black line, depending on what you're doing, it will show through. Okay, if especially the line, when you leave a nice line here, that line's going to show through your next paint, so if you don't mind that, so you got to be very careful on how much black you put across the back and then putting that chrome on, unless that's what you want. All right, and there are lures that I got, that's what I want. When I am painting on down through the sides and stuff, I want that black to be much lighter than what I normally put it on. So those are things that I end up figuring out on my own the hard way. Another podcast. This one here is on YouTube every Wednesdays at 6 o'clock. It is Soggy Rods, and great group of guys. These guys pretty much fish very similar to the way me and my kids fish. So, but yeah, we kind of just stick with hardwares. We don't try to use bait as much as anymore like we used to. But they'll explain to you all, if you're beginners. They explain to you how to rig up for all sorts of different stuff. So yeah, great group of guys. It's a great channel. They fish weekly, so they kind of go through, tell you exactly what they're using to catch these fish. Awesome channel. I really liked it. I really like it. I went on their podcast last Wednesday, and yeah, it's pretty fun. Good group of people there. You got Soggy Rods, that's his podcast. You got PNW's Trout Slayer. You got Lake Hopper, and that's all I kind of know right now. And his buddies, his brother, all these good people are on there. So yeah, check them out every Wednesdays at 6 o'clock. Learn some stuff, man. They're teaching you, especially if you're beginners. Get in there, ask some questions, and see what they're doing. Pretty cool dudes. But anyways, this is what we're getting ready to do, is start on these rainbow trouts, and then I'll just kind of tell stories and kind of talk about these questions that are asked and try to get all this out while I'm spraying here. So here we go. So the next color here, I'm going to start off with I'm starting off with my pink, and I'm just kind of debating on what color pink I should go with. Should I go with the hot pink? Normally I go with the hot pink. I think I'm just going to stick with that hot pink. So I'm going to be hiding quite a bit of this foil. So I'm going to kind of try to do the best I can to about how I sprayed this white on also. So I'm going to talk about that before we get spraying here, because I'm going to kind of need a little bit of hands on just to show you guys. So I cut these in pretty dang cool, pretty clean up on the top to get this white line here, and then I do the same thing, and then I hit it with my overspray. I just go right across the top a few times to get through and get that overspray onto the body, and then I'll go a couple times this way just to get a little overspray onto the lure itself. And the reason why I do it that way, to get this sharp line first and then overspray it, is because you see how white that is? That will be all like that, and you don't want that. I just want that white to show as a line right there. That is, so I got to shoot that in. And it's not difficult, only because I've been painting this lure for a while, so I kind of know this lure. There's a certain way I have to angle so that I don't overspray. There's a bevel right here, and from here to there, if I just spray right down the middle, what's going to happen is all of this will turn white. All of it turns white. So now I got a nice, and it kind of hides a little bit more of that flash. For me, it's a little bit flashy for certain lures. I don't want my rainbow trouts being this flashy. I do want flash though. So let me get this closed up. I'm probably going to need more of that, so I'm going to set that to the side. So yeah, so that's why I paint it the way I do. I don't know if you can see the overspray that I did on it, but I don't know if you can see the lines. You see those lines? Those lines were crisp before I oversprayed it, but that's what I want. So I'm going to just kind of take these off individually here. That way I can get hands. I just like painting this way. It's much easier for me to just be able to turn back and forth like this. So I'm going to make sure that we got paint here. There it is. I'm going to go nice and light, and I'm just going right down the middle here. And I brighten it in pretty dang good too. And that's about it. I kind of hit a little less here than I do off of that tip. And I'm going to come in here, do the same thing. And what I'm doing now, I darkened it up a little bit. Let's see how dark that is. Are they both the same? This side's just a little bit more pink there. Let me turn it this way so I have better. I can't. And that is looking pretty dang pink there, huh? That is really pink. It's about the same, but I got that side is just a little bit thicker. I'm not really too concerned with how thick this stripe is going to be, because I will be spraying down onto it, and it doesn't bother me too much on that part. And that's all I'm going to do with that. I'm not going to go any further than that. Clip that one in, pull this one off, same thing, make sure I got paint. I should have enough paint here. I just want to bring that pink up just a little bit more here, just like that. So it's really hard to make a mistake. Sometimes having more pink on there is pretty dang cool. And I'll show you why here in a second when I get into it, and then I'll mention it when I do. And that one, look how thick that is, right? So I'm going to thicken this side up a little bit more. No big deal. It is what it is. I will show you something a little later, because that's going to create a different color when the chartreuse and the pink hit. It's going to make it orange, is what it's going to do. So I get that extra color in there. So before I used to go, man, I want a straight line. Nah, I don't want a straight line anymore. I just want to get it on here. I got paint? Come on, paint. Ooh, god dang it. I don't like that though. There we go. I was trying to get over there and get that part there. It seems like I'm getting a lot on it, especially on the camera. Come on, you. I am really having problems with the paint. It's coming out. Maybe I'm just not. It's coming out. It's just I can't get the right. I don't know why it's not coming out. 1 second here. There we go. Look at that. I just like that bright pink, and I don't know what it is, but that's what's been working for me. So there we go, just like that. A done deal. I'm just going to kind of, they all look pretty similar, so I'm done with that. All right, so we're done with the paint. It's going quick. It's going quick, y'all. All right. Another cool thing about this one here, I don't get any, it doesn't get fins. I can put fins on here, but it's hard to see the fin, especially with the with all the spots up. So, and look at, see how I'm thinning that line out now with the chartreuse back in here. It's going to start turning orange. It's really neat how all these colors just kind of, and that's going to make things look pretty goddamn natural, you know. So, because I've seen trout with birthmarks and spots that just a little bit different. And they're not this perfect colored specimen, you know. They're freaking good at camouflage in the water, definitely. On this one here, I'll definitely get that nose, get everything all chartreuse, and I'm going to really darken up on that chartreuse. So what I'm doing now is I'm fading that chartreuse along the side. I'm using that overspray to try to come down as far as I can, and I'll just keep working that until I like it. Yeah, our company is Hoy Fishing. So another question from a few guys, not too many. They were wondering, hey, you know, you post up these fish on Instagram. I mean, not fish. You post up these lures on Instagram, and I don't see it on your website. And the reasons for it is some of them I like to test. Well, all of them I like to test them out, so they're on a tester, and I'm just showing off the paint job. You know, so that's all I'm doing with that. Is that, and then or it's bought. That's the other reason why. And so what ends up happening, people who know me, they ask for a certain lure. I will go and pick up a few of those lures. Just buy a little more than one, get 4, I'll give you the 5th one free. Something like that, you know, depending on the lure, because some lures are very expensive, but on decently priced blanks, I will definitely work with you. So that's what I kind of do, and so that's why you don't see it, because that's the only time I get it, is when somebody really wants it. It's usually people who get to know me and stuff, and they ask me to paint them up something really cool. All right, so it's pretty much, that one's there, it's pretty much done. Like I said, I am needing the silver. I was going to spray this back silver, but I went, it's not, it's about the same color when it shows. It'll show it a little bit more metallic-y, but it doesn't look much difference when it dries with the silver, the white with the silver and then chartreuse. It doesn't really. So like with this color here, you don't really have to worry too much on little mistakes. The mistakes actually look pretty good on this lure here. So that's why it's, I love painting up the rainbow trout. It's really nice to paint up, just for that reason. But we'll take a look at this whole thing when it's all said and done. Get that nice straight line going there. See? See? Do you see? I don't know if you can see that is now, that is orange, a little bit orange over here, like it faded into the orange. I don't know if you can see that. I like that. Because all this is, the back is just going to get darkened up anyways. So what I'm doing now, and I'm being a little more critical now on how I'm spraying this, because I want to bring this chartreuse down to that line right there. So it's just about there, but I don't want to overdo it right this moment, so because it's very shiny and glossy right now. So that is my next step on that. I'm going to bring it down because there's two other greens that are going on its back. And there's that. This one here got done exactly where I needed it. I'm going to continue that on this side here. On that, on those passes, oh definitely, I ended up really opening it up, getting her done. This is what I'm doing. I'm gonna hit the front, get that, get those eyes again, around the eyes again. Perfect. So, been plastering for 30 years, and now I'm sitting here doing this most of the day. Now, there are times where I can paint, but paint away or tie a bunch of jigs up, I don't get the opportunity to do that all the time. So I have a disabled son, and he is low functioning autism. He does not speak. He's still in diapers, and so he is first in line. This house is his house. He gets to make a mess. He is first, but just because I try to cook him his foods all the time, and Aaron also. Now it's not just his autism that's hard. It's he has other diseases also. He has a disease that causes tumors throughout his body. So he's been through few brain surgeries to remove those tumors. So yeah, I'm just getting better and better. I used to draw and paint and airbrush and all the time. I went, and it was something I couldn't stop doing. And when I joined construction, I put 100% of my time into it. So that's when it stopped. So I haven't been drawing or anything in about 30 years. And now I'm back on here. I ended up, so what happened with me is I ended up getting heat stroke. It was a lot worse than what they thought. My body finally gave in. I can't do much stuff anymore. I can go out there and fish, and I can't use heavy lures, or I can't be playing basketball. I can't throw balls for the dogs. It's, for some reason, every time I use my upper body, I start getting these symptoms. So just to let you see what it looks like now, as you can see, that pink stripe has diminished a little bit, not a lot, but it has gone down a little bit. And so what we're going to do now, this one here is much brighter than this one. These two are pretty similar. That one's a little light, so it all depends. It all depends. So now what I'm doing is I'm hitting it with metallic silver, and that's just going right across the bottom there. So pretty neat. And then from this point on, that lure is pretty much done. And then it goes right on to the spots, and we're off to the next lures here. Okay, so I want to get these all out of my way. All right, so here we go. We're going to come in here, and I like to go all the way across with this silver here. And I'm going to leave it at that, just because I can see that it is really You gotta really nice. And what I do want to do is I want to keep that middle white just like that. So as you can see, this side is fairly dark. So I'm going to go back over it, but I'm going to let that dry out before I start it again. It always takes a couple coats. Just a quick little spray here, quick little spray there. Ooh, a little bit. See that? See that? If I would have shot that one more time, it would have been really not cool. All right, come across here. Whatever I paint up, that's what's going to end up on our website. But if you guys do have some colors or a lure that you've seen you like, you can message us, we can talk, and then we'll try to get you that lure. And doing it that way will take a little bit of time because I got to order that lure and get it out. And then I'll even show you the lures, where I'm looking at and what company I'm going to go with. And one of them is Backwaters. Backwater is one of the lure companies I order through. Okay, so this side here is a little bit less. I want that just a little bit darker on the bottom with that silver. So like I said, it's going to take a couple coats. I'll let that fully dry out, and then we'll take a look at that and make sure that it's good to go. But yeah, as you can see, so my foil work, a lot of it gets hidden in a lot of the different colors I use. I just use it for flash only, for it to flash out here and there. So I like to just run this all the way on through here. And that is good. That is nice. So the next step is actually pretty fun. All it is just black spots. I don't use the airbrush for that. I like to spackle it with the brush. Here, where are we at? It's just about done. It actually looks very good. So let me show you here. So where the green and it hit, it ends up turning that like an orange-ish color. It's pretty neat. I like that. And that is all that is getting right there. It ain't getting no more silver. I am having a little issue on how I normally hold this. Sometimes I do that. And there we go. Actually, this side is just a little bit darker, so I'm going to try to do one more pass without. And there we go. We're going to stick with that right there. Look at that. So let's take a look at this one. All right, we're almost there with this one also. Oh, that was a nice shot right there. I think I'm going to stick with that. Yeah. So just a little bit darker on this side than it is. So here we go. And bam, we nailed it. So there's that. We'll put that airbrush down here. So that's all that took, was just, I don't know, some really fine, misty. Not pulling that trigger too much, just kind of Yep, there it is. It's the same color. Alrighty. Alright, look at that. Looks exactly the same on both sides. There's that. And then now we'll work on the rest of the back. So we're going to go with the lime with the fluorescent green. That is the color we're using. We are done with the metallic. We are done with the chartreuse. We're done with the pink. And we're going to be needing this and that right there. So those are the last two colors. I did say that we were done, but I forgot to do that part. Like I did say, some of these lures that you do see, they are for customers. They just ask for certain blanks. Is there any way you can get this blank or something similar to this blank, or can you get a certain type of, and then I end up sending them pictures of that blank and see if that's what they want. I paint it up, send a picture, and yeah, so, and then sometimes it's just they need to be tested. So if they don't get tested, then they're not going to be up on the website until then, because a lot of these bigger lures from 3 inches and up, they pretty much work very well. I haven't had too much issues with performance. Anything below that, it's hard to find. That's one, especially like if you start getting into 1-inch lures and stuff like that, that starts getting a little bit difficult to find. I ended up buying 4, these little ones, 100% quality. All this blanks cost more than most of the blanks I buy, and then I get them and none of them swam. I got my money back on the 3. One, I decided to, and I bought 10 of all those, so that was 40 blanks I ended up buying, 10 of each, and not one of them swam. So certain lures I get through certain companies because I have bought the same lure through different companies, and then how they give them to me, and that will determine on which company I'm going to stick with. That's that. This is pretty simple. It goes fast. All you, what's going on here? Okay, it's spraying really slow. I don't know if this is just, maybe I should have shot some reducer in there. All right, I'm starting to see the line, but it's shooting out, but it's shooting out really, almost like if I was to just cutting in or something, shooting out that slow. But there is paint coming out. I can really start seeing the color now. I'm going to definitely get that full front end in that. I'm going to come over to the side here. Here, let me grab this here like this. I thought I was going to be done, but I'm not. Sometimes I don't. So this color here is just going right to the top of the gill plate. Just like that. And that's why I want to shoot that chartreuse down just a little bit more. It's going to cover up towards the tail. And the only spot that's going to show chartreuse, I'll show you here in a second, is right there. And that little guy. And get that nice, get that front end. I just coat it. And I just coat the crap out of it. Okay, so I can really see it now. So you can see that lime green, and then you can see the yellow stripe, and then you see that would be chartreuse, but it looks yellow on the foil. Alright, so now I'm just going to cake everything in there really good. I don't know what it is, but the trout, they really like this whole deal. They really, I've caught so much trout on this color. Well, okay, not me catch all the trout on this color. My kid uses this color all the time. I don't use it as much. I like using my tan bag. My tan bag is my go-to. and then I'll go silver, and then I will go purple back, my shiner, the perch. I don't really use, I never use perch in past. I never caught anything on it. It was kind of a bummer, but I don't know, the ones that we painted up, man, they have been doing very well. You get them eyes. And it's just a nice little bit of chartreuse lime right above that pink there. I'm going to go ahead and coat that in really good like so. Get that front end. Don't be shy. Don't be shy about it. Alright, so now I got this one last one over here that's wanting to get coated too. Oh yeah. I'm going to put these down. We got our last color to put on. Hopefully I used up pretty much all of my paint. Pretty dang close. I can just go ahead and just shoot the rest of it here. Is it spraying? Yes, it is. I'm just going to really brighten that up. So I'm going to do an overspray a little bit. I'm going to come over here, do the same thing. Just right down the middle, around the sides. Kind of just let it fade on down as much as possible. Look at that. And what do you know? I didn't have no more paint. So awesome. I'm just going to go right with the green. This is a darker green, more like, I don't know, what green, hunter's green. It's amazing just where the needle is. It's empty in here, but where that needle, the paint being on the needle, there's actually, you look at that. I could have kept on spraying. But it's not coming out really hard yet. Just waiting here. There we go. There we go. We just want it to come out nice and easy. So this green is only going right towards, right down the middle. So this is what my kid wanted. He goes, is there any way you can? I was like, whatever, little guy. But yeah, so it was Steven who was asking for the different colors in the green. So that's what he got. I hope you guys can see them. I see it darkening up and everything. I'll kind of let you guys, I'll do a close-up of these here real quick before I do put the spots on. Kind of let you see exactly what these look like. Usually I am not painting at this time. I am upstairs relaxing, and all of a sudden I need to paint up 3 out of nowhere. Even though that I could do this tomorrow I just like to get things done out of my hair because I got a few. Do I got any more paint in here? Oh yeah. I'm just didn't open it up. I had it. I wasn't pressing down hard enough. That's what it was. I like to take a look down the middle there and see how that green is getting put on. So I want it to fade towards that side a little bit and then let it fade to that side. Keeping it in the middle, but I want it to fade over just a little bit so I can see that lime green, the darker green. It's supposed to be chartreuse, but it looks yellow. And I'll darken up them eyes. I'll darken up them lips. I'll fine it in a little bit just to do it. I do before I want to look at my tip here, and it is caked on there a little bit. It's not too bad though. There we go. Close that up. Just want to bubble out, make sure all of that paint is gone in there. Show you this part here real quick just to let you see. So that is it right there. That is the final done deal. And there's my foil. It's going to flash through there. It will flash through the pink also. And then right where that chartreuse is, you can't see it until you actually get it in the water, get it out in the sun. And then with the black spots all over it, it's definitely yeah, it is. It's pretty neat. I really enjoy it. So this color even works in the salt water too. I don't know if you guys ever use jerk baits in the salt water like this. I put Carolina rig it with the 1 ounce weight or 2 ounce weight depending on the current, and I've caught a lot of sea bass and lingcods doing that. I mean, the lures I used to use in the past, they were like going out for, if you're out there fishing for wahoo and stuff like that, them big saltwater plugs, stainless steel hooks, all that good stuff. I used to fish for big fish all the time in the past. Like I said, I wish I had cameras. I mean, we just never carried them around. Usually it's when we get home and then we take a picture of it. And I do have them. I've got a 22 pound Capizoni, got them on a big plastic, got a 30 pound lingcod. Yeah, caught a lot of different, is this the right, caught a lot of big fish. I had a sturgeon. I was never going to get that sturgeon. That thing was so massive. This is the brush I use. That is the famous Spot Maker right there. Yeah, that's how you want it to look. You don't want it to look, you don't want a brand new brush, man. You're gonna get some big, huge spots. You're gonna get spots like you wouldn't believe. And sometimes that's actually a pretty good thing. So I'm just gonna lightly hit it right now, kind of go through the whole body, and then I'm gonna really smack it now. And so you got to really watch out on the size spots you get too. You get too many little tiny spots, you'll definitely screw up the whole thing. And I just want a little bit bigger spots in there, so I dabbed it a little bit more. And you want to keep testing it on your napkin and stuff too. So I'm going to come in here. I really like working on the front there. On the front, I really like bigger spots, and on the back I like a lot of spots. It's just what's been really working here. Yeah, so I'm going to move it over a little bit and get it away from the goddamn cameras in the way. Cameraman, get the hell out of my way, man. I don't have a cameraman. All right, I'll come back to the back in a little bit here. Back in front now, I just did a big dip there, so I did a smack in it pretty hard there because I want to just lightly hit it and be able to get my spots. I do want a big spots too. I do want some big spots in there, but if not, that's all right. See how much went underneath. Not too much. So now I'm going to angle it like that because I just want to get a little bit more right there. I'm a little bit nervous to try to hit a big spot right now. I'm not ready for it. I am not ready for it. Oh, come on. How you? All right, there we go. That's what I'm talking. I love that. That is what I'm trying to do here. Now I'm just going to smack the crap out of it because I really like the back to be a little more spotted out than the rest of the body. Just like that. That is looking pretty good. And when all those dots touch each other, it just gives it this cool effect. A little bit more on the front, not too much more. Now I'm going to go back to the side here, and now since I got so many spots, I could really see it's almost starting to leave a line, so I'm going to start fading all that down. Instead of, so you may get a few more bigger spots now, because that's what I'm trying to do, is get rid of that. It does leave like a line. I want to get a little bit there. There we go. There we go. We got a nice little pattern, and that's all I want to get right there. That is looking really good. So now everything is blended from a little bit darker down to medium and then light with the spots. I don't know if you guys can notice that, but just like when I'm looking at this side also, same thing. It's dark here with spots, and then there's nothing, hardly anything there. So that's what I'm working on now. And I do want a little bit bigger spots because I have none on this side. I want a little bit there, a little bit there, a little bit there. One, if I can get, and if not, it is what it is. I'm leaving it as is right there. That is a done deal. And if you do need spots in a certain spot, you can grab one of these here and kind of put the dots right where you want them, you know, and however big you want that dot to be. So I wanted it to be a pretty decent size like that. This is the spot that I was trying to hit. So just like that one there, I'm going to get that one a little bit bigger. There's one there, there's one there, and there's one there, and there is nothing over here. So I was thinking about just combining those two together, but I'm not. I'm just going to combine that little dot just like that. So you know that it's going from, it does have a few big speckles on there. Just like that. I'm just looking around for empty spots and whatnot. I'm going to just go ahead right there. There's a little bigger spot. I'm going to make that one more medium-sized spot. I don't want too many little ones. There we go. Some medium spots. Yeah, that is looking much better. And I'm going to look at this side and see what I need to do, and it looks like I need to kind of mess around with this one here. I'm going to put a decent sized spot there. I got about a medium. There's a few right up here, and I'm going to put one right there where that dot is, just like that. There we go. That's about all I need I'm gonna look at this, the gills, the nose area. That's all looking really good. I do have a big spot on the other side. I got a couple of them, so I'm gonna kind of do the same with this side. I don't want it. I think I'm just gonna put a medium dot right there. There we go. I combined that together. So that is what it's getting. Freckled him out. Yeah. There you go. Looking smooth. I really enjoy him. Look at that. First shot. Bang. So I'm just going to get the tape off of this one, and then I'm going to call it the night. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope I could keep you guys entertained, and hope you guys enjoy that little show there, and then we'll be painting up some more on another day. But there you guys go. That's what it looks like with the eyes. That is my rainbow trout. It's been doing good. It's been doing good for years. This is the color that I have always used. It's actually a little bit lighter than this when I first started painting again. But yeah, I really enjoy that. That is a nice looking rainbow trout there. All right, guys. Well, you guys stay safe out there, and I will see you guys on the next video.